Yes then YouTube, we are back with another custom tactics video on the channel of a formation that I have not actually done a custom tactics video on this year, I don't think. Now, I absolutely love this formation. It is the 4-3-1-2. Very similar to the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, but instead of having one CDM and two central midfielders in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, in the 4-3-1-2, we have a flat three central midfielders across the middle of the pitch. But before we get into the video, YouTube, drop this video a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that'll mean the world to me. Also, have a merry Christmas. So, without any further ado, let's get into the custom tactics. For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off your order. Balanced on the defensive style, 100% the way to go in the 4-3-1-2. Now, this formation is an elite formation going forward anyway. We don't really have to tweak a few things here and there to make it elite going forward because it already is elite going forward. We need to make this formation elite defensively because it is a little bit hard to defend with, but once you crack it, this is a formation that I feel like you can use from right now right through to the end of the year. So that's why I'm using balance on the defensive style. A balanced style where your team presses the ball to the middle of the pitch and your team shape is neutral. I just prefer that, YouTube. I like to be in control of where and when my team presses the ball without having to worry about a bit of a random press or anything like that. The defensive width, I've gone a little bit more narrow, but not too narrow. So I've actually gone down to 44. Yes, 44. The reason being is, on this latest patch, if any of you don't know, but I think you will by now, this game on this latest patch is trying to force your defensive structure out wide. I think this was to try and cope with the byline meta and the constant switches of play. So because of that, it does actually leave quite a big gap in the middle of the pitch. So we kind of need to go a little bit more narrow to make our team nice and compact again. But at the same time, we don't want to go very narrow right the way down to like a 40 or a 35, which I was doing at the start of the patch, because then my opponent can just easily switch the play and abuse the byline meta against me. So it's why I found like a really good little bit of a G spot in that middle between like 44 and 50. It's really nice. I really like it. The defensive depth, now this is actually a little bit random, but I've gone up to 56 on the 4-3-1-2. Yes, I know it is a bit of a random number, and you would be right. It is a bit of a random number, but if any of you don't know, normally I would use between like 55 and 60, sometimes even a little bit higher on certain formations. But like I said at the start of this video, the 4-3-1-2 isn't elite defensively yet. We need to tweak a couple of things like this to make it elite defensively. If we do go too YOLO and too high with our defensive depth, we will just get picked off very easily, and we don't want that, especially as Christmas is coming up. We want to be in good spirits on Christmas Day. We don't want to be raging. We want to make our opponents rage. So that's why I'm really liking the 56 depth. It's very good. I like it. It's kind of in that happy medium G spot, which I like. The build-up, play and chance creation. No. You've got one. I mean, it's just balance and dive. I believe, yeah, it's just balance and dive passing. I'm not going to go into any detail. It's what I use. It's what I love. One thing I will say, I was actually experimenting with fast build-up and direct passing on this. It was good, but I did feel sometimes that my players were just running away from me a little bit too much. So it's why I then went back to my tried and trusted balance and direct passing. All of a sudden, we were scoring more goals. Offensive width, I actually just leave it on 50, YouTube. Yes, I leave it on 50. It's quite a narrow formation anyway, so I don't want to make it a little bit more narrow, even though I do actually prefer that sometimes. But at this moment in time on the 4-3-1-2, I just leave it on 50. I like where my strikers are. I like where my cam is. I like where my left back is and stuff like that. I just like the width of it. I don't think it's too narrow or too wide. We're in that good little G spot. Players in the box. It is, of course, 7. One thing I will say, though, actually, YouTube, if you are someone that is struggling defensively with this formation, maybe go down to 6 players in the box. I know you might think that is a little bit random, but having a bit of a lower players in the box will help you out defensively. So if you are someone that is really struggling with this formation defensively and you are conceding a lot of goals, maybe lower the players in the box down from the 7, which I really like, and the one that I use, down to 6. That might help you out defensively. Corners and free kicks, it will be on 3 and 3 as the default. I always take it down from 3 and 3 to 2 and 2 to stop us getting counter-attacked on from our own corner and our own free kicks. So, custom tactics done. Let's get into the player instructions. Now, the 2 strikers are pretty obvious what they are on YouTube. You can probably guess. They are on exactly the same as all of my custom tactics at this moment in time. But there is a little bit of a tweak that you can do if you don't want to have both of your strikers on the same thing. So for me, I play with both of my strikers on stay central and getting behind. I am not interested, the stay central of course is, I am not interested in my strikers venturing out wide. Kind of like think of Ollie Watkins under Unai Emery up the Villa, although it was a bad result last night against Sheffield United. But I want my strikers to stay in them central areas of the pitch. I'm not interested in them venturing out wide. If they venture out wide, it can be very, very, very annoying because then you don't have a vocal point up front. I then love having both of my strikers on getting behind. I love it when both my strikers are making runs in behind. But there is a little bit of an issue with that in terms of sometimes you can be a little bit like, well, both my strikers are running in behind. That's not good. So if you are one of them people that doesn't like having both of your strikers on the same thing, the player that's the slowest striker that you've got, leave them on mixed attack. You always want to have your quickest striker on getting behind, making them penetrating runs in behind. You always want to have that. But if you're someone that doesn't like both of them on getting behind, have the slower striker on just on mixed attack. It works. I like it, but I prefer personally having both of them on stay central and getting behind. The cam, probably the most important player in the 4-3-1-2 YouTube. Exactly the same as the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So because of that, I have my cam on stay forward and get into the box for cross. The get into the box for cross, I cannot stress to you how important that is on the cam. It is probably the most important aspect of the cam in my very humble opinion. It just means that our cam is a lot more involved in the attacking phase of the game. They're involved in the assist, they're involved in the chance creation, they're involved scoring goals. Everything will run through that cam. It's probably the most important aspect of the cam. The stay forward means that they will stay in that cam position. I am not interested in my cam dropping back into that left midfield or right midfield of a 4-4-2 when defending. I actually do prefer having my cam on stay forward. I know it's a little bit random, but I do. The middle centre mid, he is the CDM. So he is on stay back while attacking and cover centre. That middle central midfielder will basically play as the CDM, like in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow and stuff like that. He won't move from that centre area of the pitch. Stay back while attacking and cover centre. Nice and easy. Now, both of my central midfielders are on completely balanced settings, including cover centre. But there is a little bit of a tweak. So for me, my left centre midfielder is on balanced crossing runs as well as cover centre. And then my right central midfielder is then on getting to the box for cross and cover centre. And now I will explain why. I play with my right back on stay back while attacking. So that means that my right central midfielder can be the one that gets forward a lot because of my right back staying back in that right back position, almost like an inverted fullback. He'll kind of play as a back three, which means that my right central midfielder does then have the license to get forward and get into the box for cross as well. A very, very, very key and underrated point. And then my left central midfielder is just on balanced crossing runs because my left back is the one that is on join the attack and overlap. Very, very, very important in my opinion, YouTube, that you do have at least one of your fullbacks on join the attack and overlap. I don't know why, I don't know whether it's because of Unai Emery at Aston Villa and we attack with our left back more than our right back. I just always prefer to attack with my left back. So my left back is always the one that is on join the attack and overlap. It does not matter if you want to flip that though, YouTube. Just whichever side you have your fullback on that is on stay back while attacking, have that sided central midfielder on getting to the box for cross, because that central midfielder will then have the license to get forward because they've got that defensive security behind them. See, there is method to the madness. Both my centre backs are just on stay back while attacking, YouTube. I do not touch them. And then last but not least, my goalkeeper is on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there is my brand new 4-3-1-2 custom tactics video for you, YouTube. If you did enjoy this video, please drop it a like for me, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. Have a wonderful Christmas, YouTube, whatever you are doing. Peace out. One love.